us now, a guy who played quarterback under Tommy Hudspeth, Marc Lyons, longtime BYU football radio analyst, and as I just said, a former BYU football quarterback. Marc, welcome to BYU Sports Nation.
Well, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's a sad day, but I'd be happy to talk about Tommy.
What did Tommy Hudspeth do for BYU football from your perspective as a former player underneath Coach Hudspeth?
Well, he did just, as you just mentioned, he inspired people to win, but it was his recruiting skills, I think, that helped him the most. Now, how do you get, all those Marines to go to BYU? That had to be a tough sell. And yet he came up with some of the best players that BYU's ever had, just to mention Phil Odle, Casey Boyette, Max Newberry was a great tackle, Dick Banke, a defensive tackle, and Perry Rodrigue was a great running back. And with that core of people, there were others there but didn't play as much. But I was really impressed with him recruiting me. I was going to be a basketball player at Colorado, and I just thought, well, I'll take a trip over there and see what it's like. I'd never been on an airplane, and man alive, he had a great sales pitch, very charismatic, put so much positive emphasis on everything that he talked about, and in doing so, I think he was a great recruiter and got good players to go there, and that's what I think initially turned it around.
How did he change the standard at BYU from winning that first WAC title?
Well, they were 6-4 that season, but they only had one loss in conference. And so the fact that they did end up beating everybody they needed to in conference, except one, was quite an accomplishment. So I think it was this newness of players that believed they could win. Virgil Carter certainly an outstanding example because he was also so positive, very skilled, and did things in the system, did a great job of it, and they were able to win. And then secondly, Coach Edwards developed an excellent defense, and so he was the defensive coordinator and did a great job of keeping scores down. And so it was a good combination.
Former BYU quarterback and longtime BYU football radio analyst Marc Lyons on BYU Sports Nation. We're discussing the legacy and career of Tommy Hudspeth, who passed away early this morning at the age of 83, the former BYU football coach. What was his demeanor like on the sidelines and in practice, Marc?
He was a tough coach. I can tell you a quick story that a couple maybe. We were playing San Jose and we were beating them 60-something to something little. And San Jose was punting, and Coach told Jackie Sanders, don't run this back, run it out of bounds. He was the punt returner. So Jackie catches a football, and everybody falls down out there, and he just takes off, and he comes right by the sidelines in front of Tommy, and Tommy goes, get out of bounds, get out of bounds. Well, he continues and runs it on for a score. And, oh, man, he got in trouble. And so later in the game, we're still winning by 1 million, and Phil Odle comes back to me and says, Marc, this cornerback over here is giving me so much crap. He said, take me deep, throw me deep. And I'm saying, Tommy said no more passes. And he says, I'll take care of Tommy. Now, this is Phil. He's a Marine. I'm saying yes, sir, to him every day. And so we throw the bomb, and he catches it and scores, and I'm going, oh, no. I don't want to go off the field over there by Tommy. Jackie just got ripped. I'm going to – so Phil fortunately got back in a hurry and covered for me. And so, yeah, I was safe. But that, I was scared to death. Now, Monty Squires, he's a center that played with us, and he's calling all of these players. We're having the 50-year reunion of that conference championship this year on October 10th at the homecoming, I think it is. And so Monty had been contacting people, and he had emailed Tommy Hudspeth to kind of introduce the idea and see if he would be willing to come back. And Tommy called Monty. And so before Monty picked up the phone, he looks at the phone, and the ID says Hudspeth. And he was just shaking. He was going, oh, no, I have to talk to Tommy Hudspeth. So he still carries that feeling that he was a tough coach.
Did you call him Tommy when he was your coach, or Coach Hudspeth?
Oh, no. Well, we didn't call him that either.
You talk about the 1965 championship. How do you sum up what that really meant to BYU football?
Oh boy, yeah, it was. I just felt like it was the turning point to. A lot of my teammates still say that people don't believe that they played football there until Steve Young got there, but this was a group of players that did something that had taken a long time to accomplish. They worked together as a unit. They were unified and together, and ended up winning that championship. And I firmly believe in all athletics that once you finally get it done, you can go ahead and do it again. Now, it did take until 1974 to win the second, which still kind of shows the challenge that it is to be able to win a conference championship. And so to finally have a banner there that the football team had won a championship, I just thought that was a great accomplishment.
Mark, we appreciate the time and the insight into the man and the legend that Coach Hudspeth was. Certainly some great stories there, and I'm sure there are many more to come as we continue to look into his legacy. Thanks for the time, Mark.
You bet. Thank you.